All right, cool. Let's do this. And we're gonna start in. Are you good? Are you ready?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I forgot what my beginning thing was.
Oh
Should I keep this?
no.
I should keep this in there. I should keep it in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerds with Nines with your host, me. I'm McCay. I'm McCay Caldwell, and today I'm joined by Nifer, my good friend Nifer. That is his alias. We're going to go with that. We agreed to this. We agreed to him going with Nifer. Yeah, so today is the nerdy side of things. Like I said, Nerds with Nines is all about anything from anime to Zen of the Firearms. Do you get it? A to Z. Um, and so today we're talking about the nerdy stuff. So in the last episode, I kind of dabbled in talking about how I'm a graphic designer, and I've been a graphic designer for years now, since I was a sophomore in high school. And so when I was starting out and everything, I started in the Call of Duty scene. Like I would play video games, and basically people would record them playing these video games, and then they'd do fancy tricks and everything, and everybody would be like, "Woo, yay!" And then,
Ooh.
yeah, exactly. We would load up these things, and then Nifer started about the same exact time I did,
Yeah.
all those years
I
ago.
would say around the same time.
Was it like 2013? Was it something like that?
For me personally, I mean, I was playing COD like way back then, like back in like the COD 2 days. But I didn't get into like editing and like graphics design and all that until, yeah, I want to say 2013 as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I did the same thing. Like, actually, I wasn't even allowed playing Raid games,
Oh.
and then I was like, "Mom and Dad don't need to know this." And then I was like, "I have to play," and I think I started playing, trying to get into like small teams. One of them was called Vibe. It was Vibe Clan. I was like, "Yeah, I want to get into this team," and then basically, if anybody doesn't know, like these teams are all centered around content creation, and making videos off of playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. That's how it all started, anyways, for us.
Yeah, that's how it all started.
And that's actually what Nifer still does a little bit today. You guys are slacking a little bit, buddy.
Just slacking a little bit, but I still do the same stuff.
Exactly. And I mean, he made a team, an organization that's called Corrupt Essence. And I actually ran into Corrupt 2 years ago when I was looking
Speaking of
around.
corrupt,
Yeah.
how did you actually like find us?
Here
Like,
you
I'm
go.
actually very curious.
I got you. So I was going through Twitter. I was so bored. So this is what I do with my design skills. Instead of having people pay for crap, I get really, really bored, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I really just want to make somebody's day, and I just want to like design something random. And so I go up to like I was in the mood to make something for a team, and I was like, you know what? Like, let's try and find somebody. So I looked through on Twitter and YouTube, and I was just looking at clans and sniping teams and all these different things, Call of Duty teams, anything that had to do with any type of organization. And I was looking for a good 2 hours. I'm not joking. It was a long time.
Really?
It was 2 hours of looking. And so I was like, all right, none of these teams are, good. I don't like them at all. And
Oof.
I thought they were gonna, utilize my designs in a really crappy way. And this is also the time when an organization came out called NEFN. So shout out to NEFN.com.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, I'm not even sponsored by them. They're just a really cool organization. But basically they make logos and stuff like that. It's a bunch of designers that come together making logos, just like Premade.co. Love them too. And I get inspiration by looking at logos, and I was like, okay, I ran into Corrupt because I was just gone on Twitter, and I saw a C logo and nefn.com, and I was like, you know what, that would be kind of cool. And so and so I was like, okay, let's look into them a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst logo I've ever seen. I'm not joking.
Aww.
I'm sorry. I'm very honest. I'm very honest. So I literally just go around and I'm just like, I hate this. Like I will automatically, that's the type of designer I am. I'll just go up to you and I'll be like, this is the worst thing I've seen. I'm sorry.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And so it's like absolutely horrible. Anyways, and so I was like, okay, I got to figure out who the leader is, and it literally took 5 seconds to figure that out. And so because I just went through all the everybody that corrupt follows, and then I found Nifer, and I was like, okay,
That's when we met.
yeah. And then I think I still have that message. I want to see.
I think I do too, actually.
Let me see what it says. Holy crap! This is a long time ago. I think I'll find it for you.
Dude, I have the screenshots.
You have screenshots?
Yeah, from way back when.
Dude, we're getting there. We're getting there, actually.
Oh my God.
Okay, here it is. Ready? September 15th, 2020, 9:20 p.m.
It's already been 2 years. What?
It's been 2 years. Not even.
Since when?
Not even 2 years. And I said, yo. And 36 minutes later, he Nifer says, hello. I'm like, sup, man? I'm looking around. I didn't even know I misspelled that. For a team I could help out to fill my free time. Was wondering if you need any help. He said, yeah, for sure. What position are you interested in? I really want to help with the brand. I'm a designer. I think you guys could do a lot with this brand. Could I see some of your previous work? And I showed you, and you're like, I love what I'm seeing. Would you be interested in a lead designing position? I'm like, this is easy.
You're like, this is easy.
This is easy. Our design team has been struggling for the past year, unfortunately. The only designer in CE right now is me. I can do whatever you need me to do. He said, perfect. I'll add you to the team chat. I was like, nope. And then
it was just that easy, huh?
Yeah, he just sent over the stuff, and I was like, "Hi, do we have a team Discord or Discord? If anybody doesn't know what Discord is, it's literally the way that we're communicating right now. That's how gamers communicate nowadays. It used to be Skype. That was fun.
Oh, back in those days.
Back in the day, it used to be Skype, and that was a great time. And now we have Discord, and it's a lot better. And now I don't have people yelling in my ears anymore, and that's fantastic.
Dude, back in the Skype days, like, if people would spam your inbox, just like, oh, check out my recent video, like, all the time.
It was
like,
horrible.
I think
they literally had spam
that was the
chats,
way they would market.
And it, like Formula, who is a very, very big guy in the community. He had 2 separate accounts, and everybody tried to make a bunch of accounts too to try and say, hey, no, I'm Formula. No, I'm Formula. No, Formula had 2 accounts. I had them both. Okay, the one he never was on, and it was the main one, and the other one was a spam one. And I'd get a message literally every 2 hours or so. I'm just wondering, dude, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, why are you spamming me so much? Like, you already had Red. This is when Red was a thing.
Red.
And so I was like, dude, like, chill. Like, I don't need this. I don't need this in my life. You need to stop. And so, yeah, no, like, you could see my inbox. It was like 386 messages in one night. And I'm like, who is this from?
What?
And it's Formula. And some people would kind of like dox him in a way too. Like, they would get his information, and then they'd find out like all of his contacts. And I was in the contact list, unfortunately. And then they'd add me to everything. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I made like 3 new Skypes over time. I'm like, I'm done with this. Like, I can't stand anybody. And that's actually like my first like downfall, because I was like, I'm done with Skype. I can't do this anymore. So that's when I started getting into esports, because I was like, I can't do these toxic Call of Duty Skype messages anymore. I can't do it. But that's kind of how that came about. Like, meeting you and everything, and to be honest, let's be real, this was all by accident. I had no clue. What I was literally just messing around, and I think it took like a month, literally no less than a month, to change for a new logo. Got the new branding. Paid like nine. It was like maybe like $150 for all the stuff all together, and it was easy. Like, it was
Yeah,
fun.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure like you were like the only lead that I had out of like the what I think like 5 years at the time that I was running CE. You were
Hmm.
like the only lead that actually like did stuff.
Yeah, because
Like, I'm
nobody
not
cared.
joking.
Nobody cared, and then I don't like. I get it though. Like, it's a hobby, and
Yeah.
sometimes obviously people get bored of that hobby, and you're just like, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, I get it. And me,
Yeah,
I
it's
just had
completely
time.
understandable.
Yeah, I just had time. I didn't have a girlfriend, and I was just bored. I was like, okay, this is what my life is leading to. Like, I had a girlfriend beforehand. That was okay. Acting like I had a girlfriend beforehand. Bull crap. Yeah. So no, we started changing everything, and I changed all the logos, and everybody like in the team kept on asking, hey, can I get like a one of those really fancy AVIs, which is, if nobody knows that lingo, it's an avatar. It's the profile picture. They want fancy ones, and I was like, guys, I'm one guy. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a good 30 of us in this team. Like, I'm one dude. I don't know if I could do all of them right now. And then once that new guy joined very recently, anyways, he's been doing a pretty good job of that, and props to him.
Yeah.
Um, I guarantee they're looking back at me and they're like, oh, what the heck? Like,
He was garbage.
he's garbage. He didn't make anything for us. That's crazy. And I'm the type of designer that I make simple designs. I don't like to overdo things, and it looks like you guys are still using the announcement wallpapers and
Back when I
everything.
first started. Yup. Dude, simplicity. Honestly, a lot of times simplicity just goes a long way.
Mm.
It just looks a lot better. But I
And
feel like if it's too simple, I feel like sometimes it doesn't look good. I'm not gonna name any names, but there's some recent esports rebrandings, and oh my god, they're so
Ninja,
cringy to see. Yeah,
Ninja.
Ninja.
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
want to say anything, but Ninja.
No, let's talk about it. I had a whole different topic for today, but I don't even care. Let's talk about this. Um,
Screw it, let's do it.
the Ninja rebrand. If you don't know who Ninja is, I don't know why you're watching. No, I'm kidding. Um,
I feel like everyone knows who he is at this
Ninja
rate.
is the largest personality in gaming entertainment. Um, as of recently, anyways. Besides like Nick Merckx and all of them.
Yeah.
And Ninja recently had some downfalls. I mean, he went from streaming on Twitch, which is a very big platform, and then he moved over to Mixer, which was owned by Microsoft, and then
And then Mixer fell out real quick.
Mixer did not last at all. I actually tried streaming on
Yeah.
Mixer. It was horrible. It was the worst experience. Um, and I'll always want to stream on Twitch because it just feels better. Like the UX and UI and all that. I love it. They did a great job. Um, Same kind of thing with YouTube. Like, YouTube isn't that great with that. But they're great for obviously uploading and stuff like that. But it's not that great for streaming quite yet. And I do say yet because I feel like they could do something with it. But anyways, and so Ninja had a fantastic following, one of the most followed and subscribed people on Twitch, and honestly, followed in the world for gaming
Yeah,
entertainment.
I would say.
And his downfall started when Mixer went went dark. So Mixer was done, and he had to find a platform again, and decided to go back to. Is he back on Twitch?
I'm pretty sure he went straight back to Twitch, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think he took like a month or two break right after Mixer ended. And then he came back. Like, I don't think he came back like right away.
Yeah. And I believe he can afford that. So, uh,
Dude, he probably got stupid rich
Dude,
when Mixer offered.
multi-millionaire, 100%. He's a 100, like easy money for
Honestly,
him.
yeah.
I don't even need to talk about this. He obviously. Sorry, just okay. So Ninja came back and he obviously he had an amazing designer make his previous stuff. Um, I loved his transitions for like if he was like uh, if he's playing a game and he like switches it over to his face cam and stuff like that. It was
Hmm.
fantastic. I loved his logo. Um, and as of recently, he got with this guy, and I don't know if this is probably one of the best marketing tactics I've ever seen with gaming. Um, and basically redid his branding so that it is the worst branding dot ever dot or
Yeah,
period.
it was pretty drastically bad compared to his previous logo.
So bad that the
Like,
largest designers in esports and gaming decided to roast the crap out of this designer. Like it is actually ruthless. It is the most ruthless thing I've ever seen. And nobody knew who it was that made this. Like we were trying to figure it out. We're like I don't understand. It looks like so I'll post a link in the description.
it looks very like, I want to say like cartoony in a way, where like some of the letters look like it could be like in like a comic or something. But his previous logo, like it matched with his brand so well. Like it was ninja, right? And it had like a samurai vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it. But like this new logo doesn't even like correlate anything to his branding, and it's like very weird.
Yeah, no, like I would describe it as very 2013 Call of Duty designer bullcrap. Because that's about how bad my designing was back then. Um,
Honestly, it feels like I can make that in like the Black Ops 2 like emblem editors.
yeah, definitely. You could definitely do
Oh
this.
my gosh.
Um, and okay, so basically, Ninja's trademark is his blue hair. He changes the color of his hair over a long period of time. He's actually had a lot of problems with hair loss because he changes his hair color so much, and he's decided that he's going to keep his hair blue. Fantastic, love it, great. The problem with that is he decided to make his logo based off of that, and so it has nothing to do with his name now. It's just the logo is it looks like a saw blade, like
Yeah.
a half of a saw blade, but the right side of the saw blade is like it's a diagonal line,
Yeah.
and
I don't know what they're going for that.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, like Ninja also had the thing where he would wear a headband, and it was the ninja like thing. Like that's what he would do whenever he would game. He would wear that headband, and they kind of tried to put that in there too, but it is so like small that like if you were to get that embroidered, they would be like, I don't even know what you were trying to do here. Like that's one of the things that we try and do when you're a designer. You try and figure out what the practicality of the logo would be. If I have an application for it, will it work for that application? If I put it on a shirt, if I put it on a mug, if I put it on a TV, if I put it on a billboard, will it look exactly the same throughout all those spaces? And it looks like he hired a designer that never had that training at all. And he's like, "Oh, this looks great. This looks fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted." Or the designer caved and said, "I will go with exactly what Tyler Ninja Blevins wanted in his mind." And honestly, Tyler, you're not
It
creative.
was a massive L.
You're not creative. I'm sorry. and that's nothing against you. If this is the logo that you wanted, you're not creative, because there are I would say hundreds of other designers that would do a better job. And then, okay, the last thing with this logo is the typography.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it says Ninjoy. It does. And that's because.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that actually.
Yep, because
Now that you mentioned it,
the A looks like an O just immediately attached to an I. It looks like that. But on top of that, it's not just Ninja. It's in bold I, in bold J, A. So it's ninja. Ninja.
oh,
I actually want to hear like what the type masters of the industry would say to this. I actually unfollowed him because of this.
really?
I was that upset. I was like, this. I actually have the tweet. What did I say? It was actually kind of funny. I had to. Ninja. Oh, here it is. Okay. Ninja's new logo, and it was literally. Have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
You know when Lloyd sees his best friend with the girl of his dreams, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he's like almost puking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the gif I put. I was like, and then the one above that, the one above that was this guy named Lethal, and he says thoughts on Ninja's old versus new branding, and he says it seems to take style cues from pop art to appeal to more audiences outside of gaming with brighter colors and less sharp angles. And I said,
when there's sharp angles in the main logo, what? There's
said,
literally sharp angles in like the hair, like logo looking thing.
I know. I said, that's a nice way to say it sucks. Oh, and it really was like he was trying to sound so like, nice about it. Like, oh yeah, no, like he really tried with this one, and I could see what he did, and I'm like, yeah, no, everyone said it sucks, and I'm just gonna go along with that. I don't think a single person that I respect said that it did not suck, and I was like, all right. If I were to show that to my dad, he'd say this is probably one of the best marketing schemes he's seen. Just making a crappy logo and people getting all fired up about it, and now look at that, Ninja's views are back up because they want to see how crappy.
I mean, it worked.
And yeah, it did. Besides for me and all the designers.
Except for me, but it worked.
It worked for everybody else, but me, I can see through your lies, sir. I can see through your bull. But okay, so this kind of brings everything back. Honestly, this kind of brings it back to the topic at hand, and it's the topic today was talking about the dreams. Okay, I guarantee that when Ninja started, I know that he started as a competitive Halo player, and I know he wanted to be competitive all of his life. That was his thing, and I didn't, as of until recently, figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I don't know if I think I've told you, and you've obviously followed me on Twitter, so
Yeah.
that I have the plan of going into the Air Force, and so that's my dream. That's what I want to do, and so I think really I just want to talk about so you've been an editor for a very long time.
Yep.
You've been a designer for almost an equal amount of time.
Yep.
And is that like what you want to do, or did you actually have something totally different in mind that you actually want to do with your life?
That's actually a pretty good question. Now, for me personally, I still treat this as like a side hobby and all that. Like I don't think of this as like my main thing.
Hmm.
And I'm also a student still right now. I'm in college right now. So uh I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I do have something to fall back upon. Like I still have my editing and all that to fall back upon. But in a way, I guess you could say like so like my father, he's an electrical engineer,
Hmm.
and I guess like I'm kind of following in his footsteps, but like I'm not entirely sure, or like I'm not like 100% on it, if that makes sense.
Right.
So,
So electrical
and
engineer, what does that mean?
a lot of it's like messing with like electrical circuits, machinery, and all that, like circuit boards, figuring out like the voltages of like everything. It's pretty complicated, but like the classes that we take, especially the ones that I've been taking, I mean, it seems like a lot of the stuff can be done through like a program, if that makes sense, like an online program. Like I feel like a lot of like the techniques that we're learning in like school and all that, I don't
Hmm.
think we would necessarily need because we have, you know, all these programs and machines to do it for us, if that makes sense.
Right. So, okay, so I cut you off. What were you saying after that, though?
But yeah, I mean, I was just saying like I'm not 100% sure on it, but like I do have my editing and all that to fall back upon. Because like the thing is with my editing and all that, I do treat it as like a side hobby, but I still make money from it at the same time.
Hmm.
Like right now, like currently right now, editing and designing is like my main source of income. But yeah, like I'm not 100% sure on the engineering major that I'm going for, but it's something that I'm working towards.
Hmm. So, for designing and editing, and well, you said engineering. Is that what the thing is?
Yeah, engineering.
Engineering. So, I know you're a smart dude. Okay. And we were
Thank you,
talking.
thank you.
Yeah, of course. We were talking about this earlier. Like designing and um, editing is horrible.
Oh yeah.
The communities are horrible, honestly, and I hate being in them. Actually, I
Yep,
left them.
yep,
I
yep.
left those communities completely. The only people that I talk to are guys who have been designing and editing for at least 30 years. Um, Shout out to Mike. Thanks, Mike. Um, Great guy. Uh, and so like that's the only people that I talk to anymore. I don't talk to like my friends who are designers in esports and gaming anymore. Um, Not necessarily anymore. It's just I just don't talk to them as much, and it's not because I don't think it's real design. I just don't think it's real design. Um, no, I'm kidding.
Nice.
That would be so bad to say that. Oh my gosh, that's so ruthless, bro. No, um, I think that the type of design that I do now is a lot different. Okay, there's a lot more things to think about. When you are learning design in college, I never went to college for design,
Yeah, me either.
right? But when you're learning design in college, they teach you about all these things, but not necessarily. They teach you like the application of it, and
Exactly, yeah.
like where this would go right over here, and oh, this would go good over here. But they don't teach you about the customer, right? They don't teach
Like
you
all the
about
clients.
what your clientele is going to be like when you're going through all this. And I learned this through actual work from that sounds bad too.
From like
Um,
actual like experience and all that.
from
Like actually doing
actual
the stuff.
hands-on experience working at companies like Lowe's and
Hmm.
7-Eleven and what's the other one? 84 Lumber. These are companies that I've worked for. Um, and like if you work with a regular customer that's in retail, right? You understand that there's different types of customers. There's a customer like for Lowe's. There's the person that goes straight to the product, and that's your mission shopper. Okay, they don't
Yep.
really want to talk to anybody. It's just I'm trying to get in and get out. Please do not make conversation. Okay, then you have the DIY, which is you do it yourselves that say, hey, I want to learn how to do this and I want to do it by myself because honestly having somebody else do it just doesn't seem right. I want to do it myself. And so that's the type of person that would want to ask all the questions because what is the internet for but nothing apparently. Let's just talk to the associates, which is honestly it's fantastic because the associates at Lowe's know way too much. But and then the last customer is the pro customer. And the pro customer wants the deal, okay? And they really want, one, mission. They want to get in and out. But two, they want the best deal when they get in and get out. And they don't really care to ask any questions about it because they already have the answer. That's kind of like what it is, you know? And so in design, in design, it's a lot different. You have, and I would say that you would agree with this generalization of our clientele, okay? And the generalization is your one client, which says I want to pay as little as I can with an infinite amount of revisions,
Oh.
and I want it by tomorrow.
Oh boy. Oh man, the amount of clients I've had that have entered my DMs or emails saying that exact thing that you just said. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And we both know that one person that they keep on coming back and they keep on saying I want this
Yep.
for free or not even free because they're your friend that you'll give it to them for like a cheaper price or even prorated because they're your friend. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. I spent a
Yep.
lot of time learning this skill. You didn't. So pay me as such. The second guy or gal, I'm not, I'm not saying it's not a gal either. Okay. The second guy or gal, is the person that wants to basically do the budget war. I call it the budget war guy. Okay.
Budget war.
Yep. You say, what's your budget? And then they say, how much will it cost? And it's like, but what's your budget? I won't know until you give me your budget. And it's like,
And they never like say like a actual price.
yeah, so you have this little thing of cat and mouse. And so you try and get around it a little bit. You're like, you know what? Hey, forget about the budget for a second. Okay. Let's talk about how maybe, all right, maybe you tell me what it is that you want. What do you want? Okay. Let's go over that first. Okay. And they're like, okay. So they go over this list. Okay. And this list is probably the longest list that you've ever even heard of before. You're like, I want a little bit of dabble in motion design. Okay. I want a brand new, like outro, intro, and then I want like all these Twitch assets and YouTube assets. And then after that, I want my Twitter assets, and then I want advertisements. But I also want some apparel design in there as well, because that would be pretty cool to have later on, because I'm going to have fans, because I'm 12.
Because I'm gonna have fans.
Because I'm 12, and I think I'm going to have fans. And I think that covers it. Oh, yeah, and I want transitions. I want transitions, too. Okay.
Basically one of everything.
Okay, so what's your budget? Well, how much do you think it's gonna be? And then you can't like lowball this, because you know exactly how much it would be with that specific thing, right? You'd either say like, dude, that's looking around like 1,200 right now, like with how much that stuff is, that looks like $1,200. Like, and I would say that's a solid 1,200. He's like, that's really expensive. I'm like, yeah, like,
That's exactly what you asked for.
And he's like, and then he would come out with the, I was thinking like $60.
Yikes.
You know that guy, right? You know what guy I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. I was thinking, it was always, they always start with, I was thinking. I was thinking like $60. But you weren't thinking that before when I asked you what your budget was. You know? Because they're thinking, oh, what if he says 55? What if he says $45? It's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to go over what you're thinking every time. And I literally just did that with one of my other clients, and I said, yeah, that's going to be this number. And they're like, yeah, I was thinking like half that. And I'm like, no, it's this number. And I already did the work, so, you know, cough it up. Like, you know. And, okay, so let's just go on to the last one. This is the last client, okay? The last client is called the Golden Kid, okay? It's the golden...
The golden boy.
The golden boy, okay? It's the client that understands that you are a creative person, okay? That says, I need this. I need it in this amount of time, and it's a reasonable amount of time usually. And even if it isn't, they understand that they'll have to pay more for that. Okay? And they say their budget in the proposal. And by the way, there's a proposal. Okay? Have you ever had one of these clients before?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've had them send over a proposal and say, like, this is exactly what I need. My budget ranges from here to here. Or do they just say, this is my max. This is all I can spend on this. Okay? And they say, like this is like what I'm in the middle of right now. I can't get into any of the specifics of the amounts. Okay? But they literally just say, this is my budget for marketing. And I'm like, wow. That's a lot.
Very well detailed.
Right. And they're like, this is my budget for everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just have to pick my, budget within that budget. Oh my gosh, it's 10%. That's what I'm going to say. It's 10%. And it's like, cool. Right? Like that's the golden boy, because if it's like too good to be true for a designer. Nowadays.
It's very hard to find these clients as well. Like, I feel like they're very far and few in between as well. I feel like the majority of clients that we get are, I want to say the second type that you mentioned, I forgot, but like the very very unorganized. They won't like mention anything until like the very end. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, oh, but I was thinking about, $5 for this instead.
Exactly. Well, it's also like they're not creative, and there's nothing wrong with not being creative. There's a lot of people that are not built for that sort of thing. Okay, and I'm not choosing to go to the Air Force because I'm not creative. I am creative. I can do this. I know I could do this for a living, but I don't want to because of these people.
Yeah.
Okay, it ruins everything. Okay, but it's just the people that come up to you and say, like, no, this would look better. And it's like, no, it wouldn't. And I'm telling you that now, because if I make that and you say this looks like garbage, I just spent that much time making this for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. And one of my biggest things is color psychology. I love color psychology. Okay. Have you seen my my logo for Nerds with Nines?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So it's the red, white, and blue. Okay. And it's just everything was very, very thought out, very well thought out. Okay, I didn't put it there unintentionally with some of these things, right? And so everything is exactly where I wanted it to be. And the reason is because color-wise, it goes together very, very well. And it looks like if somebody was running for president and you're like, okay, I'm going to put this together. By the way, those designers that do like the presidential stuff and all these candidates for like governor and all that crap, the worst designers. And I say that with all the love in the world, and it's just
Honestly, facts. Honestly, facts.
and no, you guys are great people. I believe that all of you guys are great people, but I just why don't you guys have more fun with it? You know, like I think it would have been amazing for like President Trump. Which I don't like not support him, but I also like he was okay. He was pretty cool, honestly, and here and there had some choice words here and there. But anyways, love him. Okay, great guy. Anyways, I think it would have been cool to have the red, like the peach hair, and that be a part of the whole entire campaign. Why not? Maybe like the first letter of every word of every poster just had the hair on it. Like that would be so cool. Like just be a dork with it. Why not? Like I feel like I would vote more. I would vote for presidents that are more personal and more fun than always have a stick up their butt. Why do you have to have a stick up your butt? Probably because there's a bunch of people trying to pull your strings and everything. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah, and they just have to be super professional.
Yeah, it's like
Even if they, yeah, I know.
just
Especially with
imagine
branding, though.
yeah, imagine if a 20 or 30-year-old became president. Like, do you understand how much fun that would be? And at the end of the day, though, like, it's like North Korea don't like you. Okay, and we just throw a fit. Like I don't know. Like that's kind of fun to me. Like, and we just be like very very sus, like very suspect on everything that we do. But anyways, that like I was talking about color psychology, and I somehow got roped into this conversation somehow. Anyways, I got off base. Color, like with color psychology. Okay, we're talking about why use this color over another color. I chose red, white, and blue because it's America. Okay, when you read Nerds with Nines, you see America. And so I preach this to my clients. I say I have information. Okay, the information that I give you is free. I will not charge you for the information I give you. And I say that exactly how I just said it to you right now. Okay? And so I say that thing, and then I give them the information. I say, this is how you market. This is how this is how you should market. Anyways, this is how you should do social media marketing. This is what colors you should be using based off of the industry. And this is what's in right now. And on top of that, here are ways to make your job easier in your marketing department. I give them those 5 things. It's these things that actually people go to conferences to hear. It's the things that people spend thousands of dollars to hear from their favorite, marketing, designing, extravagant person, right? And I give it to every single client for free. And when I give them the designs that are probably the best designs that they could have, they turn it down and say, I don't like this color, or I don't like the typography with this. Like, this isn't really what I want. Like, and I get it. Like, there's some things like, yeah, no, I get that. Like, you don't want that. But here's why, this is why I did it. And I think the other thing is, when they say like that color is stupid, like I wouldn't want to use that. And it's like, no, there was a lot of research behind, why I did it this way,
Mm-hmm.
And that middle client that I was talking about, this is the same exact client that would go up to you and say, like, no, I don't want you to do any of this. Like, let's just restart the whole thing.
Oh, I hate when they say that.
It's like, no, this is
yeah,
wrong direction. Go the
it
other
just
way.
like wastes all your time.
I'm like, bro, what do you mean it's the wrong direction? Yeah, it's the wrong direction, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, no, I think you're in the wrong direction, bro. Like, no, and it's like, this is why, like, we have to say, like, this is how many revisions you get. This is how many times I can go back over, and that kind of brings me to the next thing. Like, I want you to go over your worst client. that you've ever had, and how many revisions you had to go over before you said I'm done.
Oh, I've had some clients where they would ask me to change the most smallest detail, the most tiniest minuscule detail that most people won't even see or even notice. And they would keep asking me to change that tiny detail over and over and over again. And I'm just like, dude, like it doesn't matter, dude. Just accept what I'm giving you. Like the main thing is good, but like you're asking me to change like this small, like tiny bit in the corner that no one's gonna see anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like like that experience is so frustrating, and like the only thing I can do is be like super nice and very polite, but like internally I'm freaking screaming. I am screaming. It is so frustrating.
Like, yeah, no, sir. Like, no, it's okay. Like, I understand. No, we can work this out. We can work this out. It's okay. Like, we got this.
I know, like I'm like so nice, like up front, but like oh my gosh,
No,
it is very.
nowadays I won't even take a client if it starts off like that. You know, and that's one of the things I was talking to you earlier about. I said like you need to stick up for yourself and say like, hey, this is going to cost a lot more than that. Like, I'm not going to do this game or play this game.
Yeah.
Um, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too. Was so one of my big ideas, and this is you've been waiting 50 minutes for this. This is the thing.
Oh gosh.
You've been waiting 50 minutes. I talked about this earlier, and he was like, I said, I can't talk about this right now. I gotta wait. Um, so I had an idea, and it was to bring my dad, my sister, and I together to make a company, and
Uh-huh.
the company is called, or in in essence, it's called in essence, uh, it's
What you did there.
thank you. Um, it's called Empire of Caldwell, EOC, and that's my last name, obviously Caldwell. Cool. So obviously, my dad's last name is Caldwell.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Works
Crazy.
out, huh?
Yeah, wow. And
What a coincidence.
yeah, it actually started out as a joke at my dad's job, and my sister and my dad actually work at the same company. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna like dox them or anything, you know. But they're both marketing. Okay, my dad had over 20 years in marketing. And it's actually pretty amazing what he's done. And I was like, well, that would be so cool to combine marketing and design. Like, yes, it's been done, but not to the to the aspirations that I wanted to do it. I wanted my dad, my sister, and I to like walk into meetings together and just blow that client's mind. Just be like, whoa, like I did not expect to get over 30 years of experience here and just get all my answers like immediately. I didn't even ask any questions, that kind of thing. And I've only seen my dad work one time, and it was literally intense. I saw him and I was like, this is why I started design, and anyways, I was like, that would be kind of a cool idea because I know that you do a little bit of, you dabble in motion design.
Yeah.
And obviously you've been an editor for a long time. And I was like, it would be kind of cool to make you a contractor, right?
Ooh.
And say like, hey, like I have a client. One of my clients right now is a coffee company. And I talked about this in my last podcast or last episode. Last episode.
Lost.
Whoa, lost episode. Where's it at? No. In the last episode, it's called the Local Patriot Roasting Company. Check them out. Love them. And I'm actually in the middle of not redesigning, not rebranding, but just helping them become the best version of themselves. And one of my ideas was to redo the website, and the beginning of the website would be just basically just like a thing of them like roasting the coffee beans. It's a video of them roasting the coffee beans and showing like the ins and outs of the coffee business, right? And it would just be
Oh,
it would be so cool. Like it's just coffee beans like being sifted through with your hands, that kind of thing. It's providing the five senses. It's the see, smell, taste, sight, and
yeah.
the hearing aspect of it too if you turn on the sound. And so I was like, that would be kind of cool to get people contracted out rather than have people work for the company and, lose out on all the money that they could get as an independent. Just be like, hey, like I have a project. Can you accept that project? And if they accept it, cool. Now you have that person for that project. And then you say like, hey, it could take this amount of time. This is how much you get of the total bid. And, well, do you know what bid means, right? Do you know what bid
Yeah,
means?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is how much you get of the total bid. And then we just work together, that kind of thing. And it'd be like, hey, 2 weeks, and be like, hey, here you go, that kind of thing. And so obviously I can't do the EOC right now. I can't do Empire Caldwell. My dad and my sister, they have their own lives right now, and I can't bring them a part of that. But I can go up to the companies that I'm currently with and be like, hey, I can actually offer a little bit more because I have a friend that can do that. And so that's when I would like call you and be like, hey, buddy, I need this done. And you're like, bro, I can do that. I swear I can do it. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Sounds good. And then I propose that to that customer. And I think that would be really cool for you because majority of your design work and clients have been, or editing work too, has been solely in the Call of Duty community and
Mm,
the outlying communities of that community. And now it brings you to a whole new realm. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I could have been doing this all along. And then you'll
yeah.
finally see, oh my gosh, like there's a whole new world out there that I don't even need to be over here, like that kind of thing. I hope to one day bring you into this world and you'll be like, oh my gosh, like why have I not transitioned? Besides the content creation portion, which I still obviously do. We're doing this right now, but yeah. So that was kind of the thing that I've been saving for 50 minutes was that kind of idea of bringing you outside of your comfort zone. Um, oh my gosh, on air. Isn't that insane? Don't you love that being thrown?
On air.
Yeah, being thrown right in the middle of it, you know?
Yeah.
So what do you think of that idea?
I mean, it's actually pretty cool, actually. I like the idea. I like how you're approaching it and everything. And honestly, I'd be down. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be down.
Sweet, sweet. And now you heard it. There you see that? I just got a buddy. Sweet. Friendly.
Live recruitment right
Live
here.
recruitment, just like that. And
Uh,
it's just I actually start look. I talked about it in my last episode, and you probably haven't heard this before. Um, but when I actually approached local Patriot roasting company, the coffee company,
mm,
and I approached them with a design. I said, "Hey, this is the design I made out of nowhere, and I wanted to show Kate, who's the owner, and I said, hey, like I made this for you. You don't have any idea who I am. I just wanted to make this because I agreed with the brand. I was like, this is amazing. Like I want to be a part of this. So I made them like a bunch of coffee bags. And
oh
so,
dang, really?
yeah, I made them straight up. I just made coffee bags for them. I'll send them over to you so that you can see them. Like they're
Oh, that's kind
really,
of cool, actually.
really well made. I was like, they're really cool. And so I showed them, and she's like, "This is amazing." And I was like, "Stop, you're crazy."
Stop. You're
Little modest. Stop. You don't even know me like that. That's crazy. um, it just felt good because I was like, this is something that I put a lot of time into, and I was like, I thought about this application. And I was like, okay, let's just do it. Like, it was fun. It was actually the first time in a long time that I actually had fun with design, which is sad because
oh,
you know, um, But I was like, yeah, no, this is pretty cool. And now I've been working with them for about 6 months now, and I actually walk into that coffee shop, and my bags are on the shelf, like they are there.
Ooh,
People
that's
are
actually kind
buying
of
them.
dope.
It,
That's
dude,
kind
it
of dope.
is so cool. They actually just sold like 80 something bags, and I was like, oh
Oh,
my
that's cool.
gosh, that's insane. And I actually made a another design for them too, another coffee bag, and it was their charitable design. And the background of that design were 2,200 names, which
Oh,
was
whoa.
it took a long time. It took 5 hours just to do the names alone. They're 2,200 names, and they were all United States military who happened to die in Afghanistan from
Oh,
from uh, September 11th, 2001 to today.
oh,
Um,
dang.
and so it's 2,200 names. And if you look at the bag and you take it, like really, you can read every single name. I made it so that you could read every name. And
Really?
I hope that one of the spouses, one of the
Like the
people,
family
one of
members?
the family members sees it, because I don't want them to think like I was just utilizing their name for gain,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't that. It was just it was to give them a voice. Like, this happened, you know, and honestly, it shouldn't have. None of those people should have died, but they did, and
Yeah.
they did it for our country. And so I wanted them to know that was, we honored them, that kind of thing. And so that one was my favorite design that I've ever made my whole entire life. And honestly, if you guys want to get it, you guys can. It's actually on their website now. You can buy it. And it would be cool if any one of uh, and if anyone listens to this, and your son, your daughter, your you know your spouse was on that list, let me know, because it does mean a
Yeah,
lot.
that's
It really it hit me the hardest too, because or not the hardest. Obviously, it hit you guys the hardest. I'm not diminishing that at all. Um,
very.
it hit me hard because I had to read every single one of those names, and I cannot not read every single one of those names. I know all the people on that list, and I seen their faces, you know, and it is hard to believe that all of those people are no longer, and just because they gave the ultimate sacrifice. And so a little bit of a little bit of a small break in the conversation there for that. But
It's
that's
very
yeah
sentimental project.
a very sentimental project, and I actually had creative freedom with that. Nobody told me to do that. It was for an organization called Carry the Load, which basically memorializes the idea of Memorial Day, if that makes any sense. So Memorial Day has been very looked down upon over the years. Nobody really understands what Memorial Day was really about. And so they decided, let's give a brand like the let's show people what the actual meaning of Memorial Day was. And so that's what Carry the Load is all about. And so they made like a little thing where
Mm.
you can actually walk, march, run from one portion of the United States to the other portion of the United States. And you do it usually with something on your back. People do it, and some of them absolute beasts, right? With
Mm-hmm.
rucksacks that are like 100 and something pounds, man. With people on their backs, man. That's insane. Um,
People on their backs?
People
Wait.
on their backs, and I've seen it. I've seen it.
Wow.
There's people on their backs, and like that's crazy. Um, and
Yeah, that is a little
and well,
too
they
much.
yeah no, they're a lot of them are ex military, not ex military. I hate
Yeah, I
that.
can.
I
Yeah,
hate
I
that.
guess.
Military veterans. Okay, and there. Obviously, if you're a Marine, then you're already crazy, man. What's up? Uh,
You're
um,
calling all of them out, huh?
yeah, no, I'm calling them all out. My buddies are Marines. Josh, can't even believe you. You're crazy. Literally went through. I'm gonna have a episode with Josh, and I want you to be there though, because like I want you to listen to his story. It is absolutely mind-boggling.
All right.
It isn't crazy. It is crazy. Okay, but anyways, I did it for them, and then their logo's on the front bag, but also if you look through, you can actually see the names through the logo. It is a slightly opaque, so you can see all the names. And I did that totally on purpose.
Ooh, that's a cool idea, actually.
And I don't even know if they know that I did that. And, honestly, like whatever, like I'll break the brand guideline for that. It's okay, and I think they would understand. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
designer of Carry the Load, but if you look through it, like you can still slightly see the names of every person, and I did make it so that you could somewhat see it. You can make it out. Before the previous design was that you could see directly through the logo, but they didn't like that, and I was like, "That's all right, I understand." Okay, cool. And then I made it so that you could be slightly seeing through. Anyways, but that kind of brings us to the end of this episode, and I understand I talked a lot. I'm sorry, Nifer.
There was a lot of topics that we went over.
A lot of topics, ninjas, garbage, a lot of other people's garbage, and then not so garbage stuff too, which is really nice. It was garbage, and not garbage, and that's all you can really ask for. But also, this was like the longest episode. I don't know if you know this, but we've been talking for like an hour.
Already? What the?
Yeah, it didn't even feel like an hour. Like this goes.
It honestly
so
didn't.
fast.
That's crazy.
I could go on for like 2 hours. I don't even care. Like this is this is great combo. But I appreciate you being here. Can you like where can people find you?
Hey, it was a pleasure being here. It was an honor. You can find me on Twitter at Nifer Edits, Nifer Edits, and my YouTube and everything else is also all linked there. And yeah.
And obviously, I'll have you in the description and everything, and people can click through your stuff and then see all your amazingness. And
Thank you.
I even put Corrupt in there for you. I want people to see
thank you.
what Corrupt's all about, and 7 years of work definitely should be, honored. At the end of the day.
I appreciate it.
But I appreciate y'all for listening to this episode of Nerds with Nines, where we talk about anything from anime to Zenith firearms. Get it? A to Z. So, I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all in... No, I won't even see you. You'll hear me. Yeah, you'll hear me in the next episode next week. All right. Bye-bye.